Once upon a time, there were three princes who set out on a journey to explore the world. The two older brothers were strong and bold, but they were also very selfish. However, the youngest prince was kind and gentle. Because of this, his older brothers often mocked him and called him Simpleton. One day, while traveling through a dense forest, the three brothers came across an ant nest. The older brothers wanted to destroy the ant nest and see the little ants run in terror. But Simpleton stopped them and said, "Leave the ants in peace. They have done nothing to harm us." The brothers continued their journey and soon reached a lake. The lake was full of ducks swimming peacefully. The older brothers wanted to catch some ducks and roast them, but Simpleton stopped them again. "Leave the ducks alone. They have done nothing to harm us." The brothers moved on until they finally reached a tree with a beehive hanging from one of its branches. The older brothers wanted to light a fire under the tree to get the honey from the hive. But Simpleton pleaded with them once more, saying, "Leave the bees in peace. They have done nothing to harm us." The brothers reluctantly agreed and continued their journey until they reached a castle. The castle was made of stone, but it looked abandoned and eerie. They entered the castle and found a room filled with stone statues. They were surprised to find that these statues were actually people who had been turned to stone. An old man appeared and told them that the castle was under a curse. The only way to break the curse was to complete three daunting tasks. The first task was to gather 1,000 pearls scattered in the forest within one day. If they failed, they would be turned to stone like the others. The older brothers tried to gather the pearls, but soon gave up. However, Simpleton went into the forest and sat, feeling hopeless. Suddenly, the ants he had saved earlier appeared and promised to help him. They rushed around and soon collected all the pearls into a pile. Simpleton successfully completed the first task. The second task was to retrieve the key to the princess's bedroom from the bottom of the lake. The older brothers tried and failed. Simpleton stood by the lake, and the ducks he had saved earlier came to help him. They dived into the lake and brought back the key. Simpleton completed the second task. The third and final task was the hardest. They had to identify the youngest and most beautiful of three princesses, who looked exactly alike and were under a spell. The older brothers were puzzled, but Simpleton remembered the beehive. At that moment, the queen bee he had saved flew in and landed on the lips of the youngest and most beautiful princess. Simpleton pointed to her, and the task was completed. The curse was lifted, and the people in the castle were freed from their stone forms. The youngest princess woke up, and she and Simpleton fell in love. The king, grateful for Simpleton's kindness and bravery, announced that Simpleton would marry the princess and become the heir to the throne. The older brothers realized their mistake and asked Simpleton for forgiveness. Being kind-hearted, Simpleton forgave them, and they all lived happily ever after.